Look, you know, for me, it really kind of came down to me just sort of being kind of like disgusted with discourse in the country. I just kind of got to a point as a dad and as an American where I was just like, you can't have, there's no room to have a discussion anymore without having an agenda, without saying I'm on this side or this side. And I feel like so many of the kind of major issues of the day are being led by people who have no experience with those issues. It's some fucking celebrity or pundit or so-called expert. But, you know, for me, I just know I've been like super fucking blessed, man, by both the life I've led and the career that I've had, that I've gotten to really know and have real relationships with people who have really walked the walk. So, you know, the folks on my show are you know, they're cops, they're special forces soldiers, they're surgeons, they're coaches, they're teachers, they're civil rights lawyers, all kinds of political agendas, all kinds of races and religions and sexual orientation, whatever the fuck they are. The only criteria is they're real. They actually walk the walk. They got the respect of their community. They got the respect of the people they work with. They've really done the things that they're talking about. And what I find is people who have really walked in those valleys and really, you know, have had boots on the fucking ground of that shit. They go into life with empathy. They go into life like understanding folks on the quote unquote other side. You know, look, man, I mean, we talk about policing with this new show. Look, man, I'm sure sometime in your life you've been beaten up by a cop. I sure as fucking been beaten up by a cop. And look, that being said, some of my best friends in the world are cops. I don't fucking I've also experienced unbelievable, sublime generosity and kindness from cops when I've been protected by cops.
Me too.
And like the fact is, in this country, you know, for some reason now we've confused, you know, being completely fucking steadfast in your views, completely unchanging, it's my way or the highway, as being patriotic or strong or tough, where to me there's nothing more cowardly. There's nothing more un-American than saying it's my way or the highway. This country's about fucking sitting down with people that might think differently than you and having a fucking beer and being like, hey man, you might teach me something, I might teach you something. We still love our kids, we still love our sports, and we can go to, and you know what, man, like push comes to shove, we will fight together as Americans to preserve this country. It's the greatest country on fucking earth. And I think we've become so divided. You know, I'll tell you, you know, one of the things on the show that I'm most excited about is in a few cases, and folks in Shreveport, folks in South Central Los Angeles, in DC, and Baltimore, I've had guys come on who are either active or ex-gang members who have done, you know, decades in prison. Some of them did life sentence. One guy that I had got out of HBOMax in Florence, Colorado, was locked up with Larry Hoover. And I had them on literally sometimes with the cop that put him away. And what I found is like, here are two people on opposing sides, quote unquote, of this sort of argument about race and policing in this country, but yet they're finishing each other's sentences. They're more alike than they are different. They both lost time, they both lost friends, they both lost loved ones to this, you know, war on drugs or whatever this is, yet they find fault with their own groups. They find they can reach across the quote unquote fucking aisle and say, hey, here's a cop that I really fucking respected. Or you know what? Here's a gang member I really respected. I really respected the way he was there, his loyalty that he showed, how he protected people in his community. And to me, it's like, if these folks can do that, we all should be able to do that. And so again, without wanting, the hardest thing for me about doing the show is that it's I'm asking a lot of people that aren't used to coming on camera, aren't used to coming on the mic, people that I really fucking love and respect and who have opened up their lives to me, which I think is sacred, and I'm asking them to open up their lives to, you know, whatever platform I have. But I genuinely fucking believe that those are the people that we should be listening to. I love the people we have on. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not an interviewer. I'm not like good at this. But it is not about celebrities. It's not about fucking acting. It's literally about discourse and spending some time with people who walk the walk. They don't just talk about it. We don't only celebrate
the man of the day. Celebrate.
That's it. And then we want to like talk about all these issues. We want to talk about all these issues, but the only way we can talk about them is by saying you're either on this side or that side. And with the folks that are actually living it, they don't pick sides. They're busy doing it. You know what I mean? They're busy doing it, and they see beauty and they see brutality in the life that they're living, and they call it out. They judge people for the content of their character and the fucking look in their eye. It's not because, hey, you're on this team or you're on that team. And you know, look, man, I think for me it kind of, you know, during the pandemic and when the sort of the in the height of the reaction to both George Floyd, the George Floyd video, and then, you know, during you know, the verdict, you know, one thing that I was really seeing is I was like, look, man, like, I want to be out there. I believe in this movement. You know, I believe that, you know, what that guy did, you know, I didn't need to be there. Seeing that video, that was just a level of disgusting, horrifying violence that I knew that needed to be weeded out, and I knew that there was something in the culture of policing that needed to change with that. I needed to be a part of that movement. I needed to be out on the streets. I needed to be a part of that protest. But then I also saw on TV people throwing fucking bottles at cops. People fucking hurling insults at cops. And each one of those cops has a family. They've got wives or husbands or kids or brothers and sisters. They're all human beings trying to do the best they can. And this is one guy. So anytime I'd go out to the protests, I'd go down to Newton Division and I'd go talk to the cops too. And I just didn't understand why you couldn't be both. Why can't you be Black Lives Matters and pro police? Why can't you do that? And what was crazy is the folks who are actually from these communities, you know, everyone's saying defund the police. The people who are from these communities, you go talk to the folks in Shreveport, Louisiana, where the murder rate is just fucking skyrocketing. I'm talking to people in some of the, you know, most ignored communities in that fucking city. They say we need more policing. You go to Baltimore, we need more fucking policing. In Baltimore, there's been so much police corruption. But I talked to my buddy Tony Maggio or Keith Galliano, guys who grew up in fucking East Baltimore, who are policing for the right reasons and are community minded. They got the respect of their community. They're fucking aggressive ass serious cops, and the community fucking loves them, and they love the community. They're doing it for the right reasons. It's so much more complicated than anyone wants to make this shit. All these issues, you know, it's like when I, you know, talking to my friend, you know, in Moscow, we had on the podcast the other day to talk about what information is really like over there and what people are really hearing on the ground in Moscow. It sucks because, you know, right now, so much of the information is so fucking agenda driven. And again, like, Joe, you know me, I'm a fucking asshole who says lines for a living that somebody else wrote. I put makeup on, like, I research the shit out of my shit, but I am not the guy to be delivering political discourse to this guy. Like, it is not about, but these fucking people, I know for a fact we need to start listening to people who actually do this shit, who actually have seen it. You want to talk about war? You want to talk about combat? Talk to Special Forces soldiers, talk to Marines, talk to guys who have actually been there, talk about what they've seen, like, let them open up about their experiences. Don't listen to some motherfucker who's just pontificating about books and he's never set foot there. I know in my gut that's the answer. I know that's the answer for our kids. I know we got it. Those are the people that need the mic right now. So that's what we're trying to do with the show.